Trade deadline, now less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Instead of just getting into the teams that might be on the lookout for players, and there are a bunch of those out there,
sure.
We had you compile a list of players most likely to relocate.
Yeah.
And then we can connect the dots.
For different reasons. Obviously, Mirotic has to go. Everybody knows that with the fight with Bobby Portis. Randall has to go because they got to clear cap room if they want to get 2 max guys in L.A. next summer. I think Bellinelli goes because he can still shoot, and he's on an expiring contract, so there's going to be a lot of people interested in him. Mm-hmm. A veteran guy that's been in a million playoff games. DeAndre Jordan, not because he's unhappy in L.A. I don't think he's unhappy. I just wonder if they're going to be able to sign him for what he wants next summer.
Right.
I think that's going to be difficult. Favors, I think, has a lot of interest. He's on an expiring contract as well. A big man who can defend and give you some production down low. And we've all heard the George Hill rumors. I don't think the Cleveland thing is very active right now. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but I don't think that's close right now to happening.
That's a tough contract to trade.
Very tough.
DeAndre Jordan's a tough contract to trade as well.
You have to really know you're going to re-sign him.
What is the market for DeAndre Jordan?
Well, I mean, look. He is still a very good defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
Now, his numbers may be down a little over the last couple of years. I don't know that that's all his fault. I think Chris Paul not being there hurts everybody's defense on that team. But he still is an excellent defensive player, rebounder, rim protector, and does enough of that rim run offensively. The problem, and it's no secret, the problem is he's still a guy that it's hard to play him at the ends of games because of the free throw situation. Right. And he's not a guy you can throw the ball into and get a whole lot offensively.
At least not that we've seen.
We haven't seen it. So, but if you're still looking for a defense and a guy that can impact the game defensively, he's probably the best guy that's available for sure.
So I said we were going to go at this way with the players, but now I'm going to ask you, who are the teams most likely to do something, whatever that might be?
Right. I mean, look, I think we all believe Cleveland will do something. It might be around the margins as opposed to the big splashy deal.
Right.
We think they'll do something. I think Atlanta, because they've got players, not only like Bellinelli, but Ilyasova is also an expiring. He's been starting. Actually been playing pretty well for him. So I think Atlanta will do something because they've got some players that people want. Maybe they can get some young pieces for him. Chicago with Mirotic, obviously. I think he
has a no-trade clause.
He does, but if Chicago can basically trump that by picking up his extension for next year. Right. And once they do that, he doesn't have the no-trade clause anymore.
Right.
So if you're operating on that, if you're trying to trade for him, the understanding is he's going to be here for 2 years.
Right.
So you have to be ready to take on that 12-5 and 18-19 as well, because that's what any team would ask for, because otherwise he's a free agent in Milwaukee. You don't want that. So you won't want to know that he's under contract.
Quick thoughts on a couple of teams here who may or may not be buyers or sellers, because I just don't know. Clippers.
Again, I think, they're in an interesting position because they're right on the edge of the playoffs.
Right.
And even though Steve Ballmer's a billionaire, you still make money when you host playoff games. So it's worth doing, right? Even if it's only 2. It's going to be interesting because whether it's Jordan or Lou Williams, they've got a couple of guys that a lot of teams would want. I don't think that they are averse to making a deal. I think they want something significant.
Making a deal to go after somebody?
I think to trade a guy. I think they'd be willing to trade a guy. They want certain things coming back, and they're asking for a lot. Right. And I think a lot of teams may pass, so the Clippers may not do anything. Detroit's going to definitely do something, I think, with that team that's been good but not good enough, probably. They probably need one more player. They need at least one more player. So there's a few teams that are going to be out there and be aggressive.
You answered my Pistons question, and producer Bert just said I could ask about one more team. So I actually get to ask about 2.
That's why I'm here.
I get an extra team in. The Knicks.
Yeah, they got pieces, and they will do so. I think they have a surplus of bigs. They want to get rid of one of them, whether it's O'Quinn or Hernan Gomez. One of those two, I think, goes. I think Courtney Lee is another guy, a two-way guy on a decent enough contract. That I think he's shooting 43% on threes this year.
Something like that,
so a veteran guy that can help a playoff team, a two-way player. I think he's definitely going to be in the mix. A lot of teams will ask about him.